Now it's working. Whew. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Korner Booth Podcast. We are here. We are live. It is a Monday. And this is that weird in-between episode where it's not yet the new season, but it isn't the old season. So it's technically season 12 and a half. I don't know. Either way, welcome back. I've been out in the cold all day. It's why my face is beet red. Yeah, it's cold, it's windy out. My entire driveway is covered in ice, so that is how I spent my entire morning and afternoon. Sucked. My hands are still vibrating from the icebreaker, but got a new shirt. Well deserved. Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Went to the parade on Friday. Got to enjoy all that South Philly has to offer. Got to finally see our boy Chris in person, which was very fun. If you didn't see it, there's some photo evidence up on social media. Got to see the parade up close in person. It was very cool. But yeah, it is now officially the offseason, which is, awesome in itself because, baseball's around the corner, hence the D-backs hat. But yeah, it's a good show. Maddie is joining us now. Maddie, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. You sound a whole lot better voice-wise.
Yeah, it's really funny driving to Philadelphia at 5:00 in the morning on Friday. I started talking to one of Chris's uncles, and I'm like, oh my god, my voice sounds fine. This is awesome. So I just like, screw it. Why not?
It just took the western part of Philadelphia to just get it out of you.
Southern part of Philadelphia.
Southern Philly.
South Philly is a unique place.
West Philadelphia is where Will Smith got ran out of town.
Yeah, I mean him and his G.I. Jane wife. But listen, I had a blast. It was great meeting Chris in person. I genuinely had a great time. I said to him, I'm like, my buddy, give me a genuine Philadelphia experience. And he goes, I got you. And it was totally a genuine Philadelphia experience. That was the very cool part. Had a blast. We were joking with the couple that was in front of us and their family. We're like, hey, same time next year. And that's kind of the vibe. We're all kind of like, all right, now, like, we all kind of have like the AJ Brown mentality, like, hey, let's chill for about 5 months, and then in July we're back to war.
Yeah, it's like a much deserved earned vacation in a sense. You got what you got, you lay low for a little bit, you absorb it, and then all of a sudden once training camp starts and you got preseason around the corner, you just come back out like a giant flock you guys are and just raise hell again.
Yeah, no, it's to say the least, it was a very cool experience, and it's interesting because I guess I don't know how to describe it. 2018 was kind of like the shock and the awe of like what we just did, and the fact that it was such a close and exciting game, and it's probably one of the most epic games of all time. That was cool. But to me, I'm like, this 2025 one is a little different because now I'm just like, we kind of beat their ass. Like, seriously, we really did.
Kinda. I mean, the 18-point differential doesn't speak to the volume of the butt whooping that.
I consider 40-6 as the final score. The last 12.
Anybody that enjoys watching football, that aren't a casual fan that only watches the Super Bowl, to watch that game from start to finish and just to see how the Eagles absolutely dominated the Chiefs on both sides of the ball, despite it being 40-22 at the end of the day, like that was a glorified butt whooping. That that wasn't an 18-point differential game. That was, like you said, that was more of a 30+ point differential type of game.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're kind of just sitting there like, that was fun. That was a good time. That was a really good time. I enjoyed every minute of that. So I'm looking forward to that. So we are going to do so we're bringing that back to KB draft tonight. Me and Matt each get 5. I was going to do 10, as a top 10. But I'm like, you know what? Nobody's here for us to list all that because we still have our MLB wish list. So what we're going to do is me and Matt are going to go through. We're going to draft each 5 Super Bowl MVPs from every Super Bowl is available. Yeah, we'll kind of just go from there. And we'll kind of possibly release a graphic, who has a better team. And the week KB draft is back, baby. With a vengeance, the offseason. My beard is killing me today. It looks scraggly. I needed to shave it today, but I was outside shaving ice all day.
Oh. Dude, 'tis the season of dry beards. No matter what you put in it.
I just shampooed it literally an hour ago.
Yeah, I've been shampooing and conditioning it. No matter, even if you want to put some oil in it, it just
doesn't fit right.
No, well, when it's 20 degrees, it's gonna get dry.
It's it's the thing is like I was outside and it was just I was getting smacked in the face of wind for like an hour, hard hour and a half. Yesterday, I was out there it just snowed, frozen rain coming down. I'm out there in a Carhartt, sweatpants, snow boots, a beanie, and earbuds, just cracking away, trying to shovel as much as I could off. And I was told, hey, come inside. You've been out there for like 2 hours. And my driveway is 130 yards long. So the fact of the matter is I got about 70 yards out of it. And the last 30 are now crystallized from my big-ass truck driving over it and all my family leaving and coming back. So I just was like this, like just jackhammering away at it with the ice pick, and it was barely working. Also, my shoulders are shot from shoveling it, so like the ice pick today was brutal. I had to do legs today, which I hate doing legs on a Monday.
No, it was terrible because it snowed from like 2 to 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I think it was like 9 o'clock at night, and it was starting to wind down a little bit. But like, nobody's going to go outside at 9 o'clock unless you're my neighbor and go use the snowblower on your sidewalk and stuff. So, like a normal person, you wake up the next morning and it's like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, wherever you want to do, and you're like, all right, let me go clear it off. It turned into a 2 to 5 inch snowstorm. It turned into like maybe just a coating of snow on the ground with a sheet of ice. So I'm sitting there with my shovel, just breaking it all up. I'm shoveling puddles of water and ice off my sidewalk in the driveway, and it was one of those ones where it's just a back killer. And then I rest up a little bit, and then we clear everything off. We're driving down the street to go to the gym. I hit so many detours because of all the trees that were down and the roads were blocked off. And then I finally get to the gym and they lost power.
Where do you guys go? You guys go to Hampton Edge, right?
Yeah. They lost power. So I had to turn around and drive back home and then hit more detours on other back roads.
I love Iron Factory. They were open. They were ready to go because it's in the same power grid as a Costco. So it's like,
nice.
We're good.
That's crazy. They were the only place in the plaza that lost power. It was the gym.
That sucks. Yeah, I didn't go out. I didn't go to the gym yesterday. Yesterday was a chill at home and shovel snow. I did do my 30 minutes of cardio and watched a movie, which was fun. That's the one thing I do miss by the edge is that I did like watching the movies occasionally, but they never had the right movies I like. So watching one on my phone while I'm on my elliptical in my basement is fine by me. I will say this, though. We do have the MLB All-Star. We're going to talk about MLB in about 10 minutes. We're going to talk about NFL headlines, and obviously we're going to finish off with the KV draft on our favorite Super Bowl MVPs. I want to talk about basketball and hockey right now. The NBA has a real problem, and I'm helping a basketball pod develop right now. I'm working with a couple basketball writers here at Belly Up, and they're great dudes, and I love them. They're great. Their takes on my Timberwolves and the Eagles are a little off, and I don't understand where like the recency bias in the NBA cracks me up because that same Timberwolves team smacked around everybody last year until they literally got beaten by Luka and Kyrie going on one. But now we're not going to worry about that because Dallas is dead. NBA All-Star Weekend was this weekend, and the only highlight to me was the fact that the Spurs got disqualified for cheating by like not attempting shots, and Mac McClung won his third dunk contest. How this kid can't get into the league with a solid contract cracks me up because they just bring him up for the dunk contest and they send him back down. It's almost kind of embarrassing to the league at this point. I mean, like this dude is literally like Nate Robinson. I'm not saying Nate was a phenomenal ball player, but Nate Robinson literally was a dunk specialist who jacked up threes. I guarantee Mac McClung is better than half the guys on some of these rosters, but he just bounces around the league. He sits in D League, comes up for the dunk. I feel like somebody could give him a contract, even just sit on the end of the bench. But that's not the point. The point is that the NBA All-Star Game is now worse than the NFL Pro Bowl. I said it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
MLB is still and will always be the king of All-Star Weekend. I don't want to hear anything else. The Home Run Derby is must-watch TV. Mm-hmm. Every single year, I look forward to slamming beers, watching guys hit the ball a million miles, and losing money because of a stupid clock or a ball doesn't go far enough. But it's okay. I enjoy it. You know why I love All-Star Weekend? And there has not been a Diamondback in the All-Star Game, I believe, since I was a child. And I don't even care. So here's the kicker to me. The NBA had something great when we were kids. The dunk contest was legendary. I can even remember back when we were in college with Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon, 1 and 2. We had Nate Robinson versus Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard versus Gerald Green, 1 and 2. I believe 1 and 2. We had Amore Stoudemire. We had Jason Richardson, Vince Carter, the GOAT of dunk contests. And I think Desmond Mason put on a ridiculous career, game 1 to year 2. I remember all those dunk contests. Josh Smith was another one. Even Blake Griffin's lame butt dunking over the front of a Kia. Mac McClung jumped over the top of it. Last year, somebody jumped over Kai Cenat. Dude, he's this tall.
Yeah.
Hell of a streamer. Love the dude as a person and a streamer, but he's this tall. Real respect, real. I'm going to be honest. He's a short dude. Even Shannon Sharp made a joke about it. And the fact of the matter is, everyone's a chicken to the dunk contest. And now this Rising Stars, the winner, gets into a play-in tournament. I think they tried to do like the Four Nations thing like hockey's doing, but it executed terribly. First off, there was no penalty for LeBron and my dog Anthony Edwards just saying like, yeah, we're not going to play. We're just going to sit out the game. We got injuries. I mean, listen, Ant Edwards, was I excited to watch him? Yeah, but I might have turned the game on to go see how he played. But then the second I say is, I'm like, yeah, I have no interest in watching this. I'm going to finish my movie and then play NCAA with the boys and then watch the highlights tomorrow. Because I truly do not care. I love NBA basketball, but I love NBA basketball for the actual games and not for this atrocity that is All-Star Weekend. So here's the funny part. Everyone who knows me knows when it comes to sports, hockey is 6th on my list. It is no disrespect for the great sport of hockey. It is a fun sport. It is a fast sport. It is an amazing sport. I've been blessed watching my team win 3 Stanley Cups. You know, the question is, I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. I've been since 2004. Family connections. Anyway, everyone knows it goes NFL, college, MLB, college basketball, pro basketball, UFC, hockey. But here's the fun part. Hockey to me has always been that one sport where it's like, if it's on, I'll be entertained by it. I think it's a great sport to watch. I just never have an attention span to watch it. But this Cup of Nations, or the Four Nations Cup, or whatever the hell they're calling it, is awesome. I love it. Dude, the first 4 minutes of the game between USA and Canada, first of all, Canada started booing us. Okay, we're just going to start smoking your players on the court. I mean, on the ice. It was great. They were throwing punches, beating people down, and then we whooped ass. 3-1 win for U.S. over Canada. I'm not a big hockey guy, but when it comes to hockey, as long as we beat Canada and Russia, I'm a happy man. Anyway, nation's pride right there. So, I'm actually going to watch the final. I cannot wait. I might even watch the semifinals. Like, I might watch Canada. I think they're playing tonight. I will look that up in a second. But
they actually, it says tonight, it says final 5-3. They beat Finland. Tonight, 8 p.m. is Sweden and USA.
Oh, I'll definitely watch that tonight. I don't know anybody on Sweden's team, but I know who we got in USA. I'm excited for it. I like this. This is cool. This is
very cool.
See, this is the thing. The NHL did something very smart. The NFL needs to take something out of this and say, hey, maybe we get creative a little bit and try to mix some things up. The NFL has like an idea. They just got to kind of go back to the drawing board. The NBA has tinkered with it too much, and now it's this weird Franken weekend that nobody wants to be a part of. give a huge bonus for the dunk contest for guys like John Morant, Anthony Edwards. Hell, back when he was on Minnesota, get Andrew Wiggins in there, or guys who can just bounce. Like, seriously, just have fun. But guys, nobody wants to get embarrassed. The NBA is officially a joke. At least their All-Star weekend is, because the NHL just kicked their ass. They did. I'll be straight up with you. Yeah. I love basketball. My love of basketball over hockey is a no question. But, dude, the NBA embarrassed themselves. This was awful. And the whole thing with Amazon and inside the NBA no longer being a thing because TNT, they didn't want to keep TNT around. They wanted to give the contract to Amazon. And Adam Silver's really half-assed, heartfelt thank you to Ernie and the guys. Dude, the NBA looks like a bunch of clowns. And the fact that they still cannot find a way to market their stars. I get the Luka love. I understand that. It should be Luka, SGA, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Paolo Banchero, Jalen Brunson, Cat. I'm missing a couple. But serious, Wembanyama. Market those 8 guys. Like, the fact of the matter is, besides Luka, I don't hear about these guys. Why am I still seeing Steph Curry? The old man only does his jack up threes, and he's playing with literally Jimmy Butler, who I swear to God is a team imploder. So it blows my mind. It really does. And they're so star dependent on their last generation. I don't know, Plank, what do you think? By the way, he perfectly predicted the Super Bowl. He said the Eagles were going to beat down the Chiefs. I don't know. It turns into this whole thing where I'm kind of just like, what happened to a sport that I lived for back when I was a kid? Like the KG, T-Mac, J-Rich days. Vince Carter, Reggie Miller. I loved those days of basketball. Then around like high school, it became kind of like the LeBron versus the Mavs and then versus the Celtics, Kobe versus Garnett and Pierce. It was cool. Now the NBA is lame. It's a joke. It's become like this niche sport. It's what I feel. I feel like sometimes talking to NBA fans, they try to act like European soccer fans. European soccer fans are dedicated. They earn that bit of snobbery. You know why? They get up at 8 o'clock in the damn morning sometimes to watch 3 teams or 3 different games. They go 90 minutes straight. I think it's like an hour and a half straight because they have like I think a tiny bit of intermission. But and then they get injury and stoppage time. But like they go for 90 minutes straight, and then they're good. And you know what the thing is? These guys know who's in their development leagues. They know who's in like their clubs. They root for internationals. They root for all these different leagues. But for like overseas soccer fans have earned that a little bit of snobbiness because they've put in the effort for it. NBA fans, the reason your league is becoming more niche is because you are falling so far behind. Frankly, the MLB, the NHL is starting to catch up with you. College and pro football are so far ahead. And then on top of that, soccer is becoming big. Seriously, I meet more fans who watch international soccer or even MLS, which is kind of a joke sometimes. Hell, I went to a soccer game this summer. I had a great time. My team, the New England Revolution, is awful, but I had a blast going. So, and here's the thing, Matt. Let's be honest. The only basketball headline we have today, the last one we only had to see, besides the Luka trade, and this, I'm not going to talk basketball probably until December. I mean, sorry, not December, till April when the playoffs are around the corner. That's not good. I would love to talk basketball, but give me something to talk about. I'm done ranting. What do you got?
No, it's. I don't think it's a secret that the NBA All-Star Weekend is probably the least looked forward All-Star Weekend of probably just about all sports. I mean, like you were saying, I think, not to be biased or anything, I think baseball has the best one, and it's just, I don't know, baseball. I think a lot of people forget baseball was America's sport for a very long time. It has switched over to football, but for 100 years, it was baseball. And it doesn't even matter that all the big names don't even really want to compete in the home run derby anymore. Like, even though you're not really seeing like Bryce Harper in there, you're not seeing Aaron Judge in there, you're not seeing, Giancarlo Stanton in there. You're not going to see Mike Trout or anything like that. You're going to see Pete Alonso every year, but like that's really the only consistency you might see each year. But like you might get a bunch of guys that only hit 20 home runs a year, like when they had like Muncy and Luis Roberts and things like that.
But they still put on a show. Like that's
oh
the
yeah, but they put on a great show. But the MLB also does do some rules adjusting to where it kind of tailors to who's kind of competing. Like instead of doing that whole 10 out thing where the Derby goes for 4 hours because Josh Hamilton wants to hit 40 straight home runs at Yankee Stadium. Yeah. They got the time clock, the pitch clock. You got 3 minutes. You know, you got to wait till the ball lands to throw the next pitch, this and that. You got the golden ball if you hit it over a certain amount of feet, the extra time, things like that. Like they just do a really good job with adjusting the rules and everything like that to keep it exciting, even though you're not getting power hitters competing in it every time. The All-Star game is still – I don't really watch it that much, but like the All-Star game is still fun to watch because it's baseball. And people play baseball the way that you're supposed to play baseball. It's not a contact sport. It's not a sport that you're going to get hurt very easily, like maybe the NBA, the NFL, NHL. You're still able to play the All-Star game like a normal game of baseball because it's just not contact. It's very low engaging, low. You know, there's not a lot of load on your body with baseball. Obviously. And then NHL with this nations thing has been great. I mean, 3 fights in like 9 seconds with USA and Canada was amazing. USA, I mean, come on, Canada. This is supposed to be your bread and butter. We
just took your cookie, bro.
Yeah, you can't let us beat us, let alone you can't let a Florida team win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, no, this is the most disrespectful thing of all time. I love it. We keep the cup from Canada. It is a great tradition we've had over the last decade. I love it.
But then you got the NBA All-Star Weekend where it's not that they don't even really do anything different. It's just you can't get anybody to participate, and they're not doing anything about it to enhance, you know, you're still not getting viewable participation.
I have a theory. If you'll indulge me here. What are you drinking, by the way?
Oh, nothing exciting. This is just a plain Coke.
Fair enough. I'm drinking water. I had a little maple whiskey when I came inside because I had to calm myself down. I was losing my temper. I almost snapped a shovel over my legs. I was getting frustrated. But I will say this. I think the NBA's biggest problem is NBA fans and NBA players, except for like a select few, are in an echo chamber. They only hear what they hear. They don't like look outside. And I have this weird feeling. I don't know if this is true. I could be completely pulling this out of thin air. But the vibe I get from the NBA is that their leadership in their home front in the central in the NBA central office. Oh, I can't think of the word. Anyway, Adam Silver and his crew, NBA owners, most NBA players, they live in their own little echo chambers. It's the one sport where I swear it's worse than anything else, and they don't see what's going on around. Like the sitting for like games, like just like load management. Where did that come from? People thought it worked. It actually doesn't. Like statistics back it up. It does not help performance. It does not help teams. And like, this is the one reason I don't go to NBA games. I have not gone to a game since 2014 or 2015. 2014? 2015. It was Wiggins and Levine versus a garbage can Knicks team, and they went to double overtime. Awesome. It was fun. But Kevin Garnett sat. I never got to see Kevin Garnett play. I went to one NBA game my entire life, and it was for the Timberwolves. He sat that game. Heartbreaking. Got to see him. Didn't get to see him play, though. But, like, it's stuff like that always bugs me. It's like, and then it's the All-Star, it's the dunk contest becoming lame. It's the 3-point shootout, which is still great, but it's what it is to me. 3-point shootout's like ordering fries. It's like, it's solid. You're going to enjoy it, but it's not going to bring home. It's not something you travel for. It's like, yeah, oh, great. A bunch of guys jacking up threes. Awesome. It's like watching the game. Skills competition used to be funny to me. It used to be fun watching them play. Now they're like faking, throwing injuries because they realize it's faster. How do you just run, Chris Paul? Yeah, I just think the NBA like only listens to who they want to listen to, and that's why they're downfalling. Why are we still clinging to LeBron and Curry? I get they're all-time greats, but they're both on the north side of 35. I mean, LeBron's north of 40. Why are maybe this is a little bit of fan bias. Why aren't you pushing Anthony Edwards more? He literally is a problem. He dunks on anybody. He just yammed it on Chet Holmgren on Thursday, and I fell out of my chair. I was like, oh, like Pablo Banchero. I love watching him play ball. The Magic have the best social media team. in any team. Like the Orlando Magic dance, that's awesome. Those videos are great. I follow the Magic on TikTok because of this. I'm not even a Magic fan. I haven't liked them since T-Mac got traded. But it's still cool to watch. But nobody, it's like this is the thing. For a select few, nobody cares. And the problem is like you look at other sports and their fan bases. The NFL and college football, it's a national thing. It's an American thing. It's got a big, growing international audience. College football is very regional, but it's growing. Like the college football playoff was, I think, it's over 18 million views, I think, for the national championship game in Notre Dame, Ohio State. Great playoff once you got past the first round because we found out the hard way. Unfortunately, there's not 12 teams deserving. And the 2 or 3 teams that probably could have put up more of a fight didn't get it. So, first year problems. It's going to happen. Baseball, what I love about baseball is they've turned their branding around. When you talk to a baseball nerd, baseball, like guy who's obsessed, they're like, oh, you're trying to get into baseball? Dope. Who's your team? Like, they act like Nate or me or our boy Scotty, who's a diehard Braves fan. But there's no like seething hatred unless for your rival team. Like I was bullshitting with some guy the other day about baseball. We were chatting for like 20 minutes. He goes, "Who's your team?" I'm like, "Diamondbacks." He goes, "Why?" I'm like, "Randy Johnson's my first baseball card, and I loved reptiles growing up." He goes, "Cool. You've been a fan for long?" I'm like, "Since about 2000." He goes, "Oh, so you got to see the World Series?" I'm like, "Barely, but yes." And he goes, "You suffered through all of it?" I'm like, I mean, there was a point where I'd root for my second team, which was the Yankees. But besides that, because I grew up in the New York area and my whole family's Yankees fans. But besides that, like I've been a Snakes fan my entire life. That's the vibe. NFL, obviously, everyone's got a team to kind of establish. NBA, it's like you try to get an NBA fans are like, whatever, dude. Like, how can you not like Braun? Or like, oh, it's anybody ever cares about Braun versus Jordan? I'm like totally ranting right now, but it just seems like something's off with the sport. Like they just don't know what to do. And Adam Silver continues to make the wrong decisions to market it towards the everyday fan, not the freakazoid fans, which I love that. I love guys who are obsessed with the sport. As somebody who's obsessed with football and probably has a problem with an addiction to football, I can understand that. I'm actually more excited for the USFL than I am for the NBA playoffs. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually going to reach out to our boy Zach Gilman, who is a big UFL guy. I want to bring him on the show again because he hasn't been on about 3 years. I want to talk to him about the early season predictions. But other than that, I'm done ranting. Maddie, please wrap this in a bow. We'll start talking baseball.
Nah, the only thing I got left really is you got the NBA All-Star Weekend and then you got the NFL Pro Bowl week. Probably two of the most least looked after, weekends for those sports. At least the NFL tries to do something different. Like we all know that the Pro Bowl, nobody likes watching the Pro Bowl because nobody is going to actually give it your all and tackle and play the sport the way you're supposed to play the sport in February because you're going to risk a torn Achilles and you're going to miss the entire season ahead. So nobody wants to give it their all because you don't want to get injured in February and not be able to play until next year. But at least then they turn it to maybe a flag football game that lowers the impact rate, still makes it, enjoyable to watch, but like it decreases the injury factor and you don't have to put the pads on and anything like that. And players have a much better time doing it. But then they also have the Pro Bowl games now where they have all the throwing competitions and all the games. And it's actually interesting and kind of cool to watch. Now the NFL Pro Bowl week is becoming a little more watchable, whereas NBA isn't really doing anything differently to get some engagement and get new guys in there. And it's more of like you're watching it to see the entertainment factor with like Kevin Hart or whoever else is going to be hosting it or coaching it. And it's just my digressing statement would be the NBA All-Star Weekend is definitely the least looked after All-Star Weekend of all of the major sports in America, I would say.
Yeah. It's really sad to think about because NBA is going into one of its worst viewed seasons. And I was listening to a basketball pod the other day. I'm not going to name names because they're good dudes and I actually know them personally. But they were like, oh, well, there's an NBA tweet about the Luka trade. I'm like, of course. And it was like higher viewed than a Super Bowl tweet. I'm like, yeah, but which Super Bowl tweet? I need context. Also, it's like, yeah, the Luka trade was mind-blowing to all sports fans because that's like the I'm trying to think of the best way to hit this on the nail here. Oh, it's like the Texans trading CJ Stroud for Justin Fields and a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's what the vibe is. And I'm just like, no wonder it was a higher view tweet. But also, here's the thing. It's like, Yeah, the NBA is falling behind. I didn't have a hard talk because I was talking to these guys like a month after. I'm like, hey, you might want to chill on the Super Bowl stuff because 126 million, eighth most used sporting event in the last like 100 years. It's kind of crazy. Everyone wants to see Patty get his butt kicked. But and also I think there were some World Series games that outdid the NBA Finals, and this may be a litmus test because I'm kind of the prototypical casual fan. Because let's be honest, I only have so much attention to do. I didn't watch a single game in the NBA Finals last year. I could not care less. So the second my Wolves got knocked out by the Mavs in the Western Conference Finals, I was like, okay, next sport, baseball time. But that's the unfortunate truth about it. I don't know. All right, let's talk baseball. We're doing baseball wish list. So here is there's a couple of headlines. We'll nail it quick because I shout to Nate for putting this up here. And it's here. We know baseball season started. Anthony Rendon's hurt. A man who literally has said on record he hates playing baseball, but he's paid millions of dollars to play baseball. World Series champion Anthony Rendon is out due to hip surgery. I don't know if he's out for the season. He's probably out for the season, knowing him, because he's built glass.
They said an extended amount of time. So that tells me post All-Star break is whenever he could come back.
I'm waiting for the Angels to find some way to find him and void of his contract. There's got to be some way to get him out of that. Here's one for you, Maddie. John Carlos Stanton, health in question. What's going on in Florida right now?
All that I was able to read, let me see if I can do any more digging on it, but what I was able to find out pretty much is that he is dealing with some dual elbow injuries that could cost him his potential opening day status. So they're saying very high level of elbow pain, I believe in both elbows. Soreness in both elbows. Hasn't swung a bat in 3 to 4 weeks. Revealed Monday morning that he said the injury is something he played through last season. And oh, cool. You played through it last season. You didn't think to address it in November when we lost to the Dodgers. You could have maybe been okay by May. Now you may not be okay until August. So they're just saying it's definitely not just soreness, which means that it's something probably serious, probably has some sort of dual UCL tears.
Oh, he does have a very violent swing.
Yeah, they said, he doesn't bend his arms. I don't know, but they just added to it saying that surgery is not a worry at this point in time, but put his level of pain at very high. This just screams surgery.
Hey, listen, surgery ain't no surgery. That's good news. Listen. Our star player got his hand busted on a wild pitch during live PP. So yeah, Corbin Carroll is down for a couple weeks with a busted hand. Thank God it's only February. Oh, Maddie, we're also only a month away from MLB The Show. I'm so excited. It's also free for all Xbox.
I can't wait for when that comes up too. But yeah, so he's his status is in question. Rendon's out for extended period of time with hip injury. And then the other thing was that Mike Trout was trying to convert to right field to better prolong his health and his availability.
I want to see Mike Trout play the whole season.
Yeah. Honestly, I would. I mean, listen, he's probably 32. Baseball world, you're still a young man. You still got some years of prime in you at 32, 33. You don't really start to hit that decline until maybe 35. If I'm him, maybe I look at
DH some games because Rendon ain't gonna take that.
Yeah, but I even maybe look at maybe next year, try and play some first base. Do what Bryce Harper did.
Seriously, and Bryce Harper, didn't he make an All-Star game at first base?
Yeah,
not a bad hitter and not a bad fielder. Honestly, he's an athlete. He'll figure it out. Just listen, Paul Goldschmidt's 33 now. Whatever he's gonna be starting for the Yankees.
Goldschmidt's 37.
Shh. I feel old, okay? I remember his first home run.
Paul Goldschmidt might be the Yankees DH if Stanton can't get back.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Is I remember Paul Goldschmidt's first home run for the Diamondbacks was a walk-off. It was 2011. I remember this like it was yesterday. I was junior in high school. It was crazy. It's crazy seeing Goldschmidt in the Yankees uniform. It just feels wrong. About 10 years later, and everyone thought it was going to happen. Anyway, but yeah, that's it. So we're going to go down. Maddie, we each get 3 picks for our MLB wish list. 3 things we want to see happen. One thing, we're limited to only one thing for our team, though, and it can't be our team wins the World Series.
Okay. I guess to start with one, I would like for the Yankees to add, whether it's a free agent signing or a trade, I would like the Yankees to add a infielder to this lineup before the season starts. And I'm looking specifically at either third base or second base because Jazz Chisholm can play either or. So if you get a third baseman, you move Jazz back to his original second base position, or if you get a second baseman, you keep him at third. I thought he played fine third base last year for a guy that never did. So my first point on my wish list would be for the Yankees to add a second and or third baseman to this lineup before the season starts.
My first has to do with Jazz Chisholm as well. I want more swag baseball. What Jazz Chisholm was doing with the Yankees in the playoffs and when he got traded over was so much fun to watch. I want more fun, entertaining, swaggy baseball. I want guys diving head first, going crazy, trying around the bases. Make baseball even more fun. Like, I want to see, like, I'm looking forward to seeing Josh Naylor in Arizona because he's nuts. He is an energy ball. And I want to see him hit a ball off that Tacoma on the second deck. I want to see him absolutely nuke one with that thin air. Yeah, more swag, more entertaining baseball is number one on my wish list this year. Let's make baseball even more fun. Like, I actually look forward to actually watching other teams now, where it is when I was past years, it was just Diamondbacks baseball, and I'd check highlights.
There you go. So we're doing all of baseball, not even just our team.
You can do one for your team. So that was your one. So now you can do all of baseball. So that was one of mine for all of baseball.
Oh man.
Could be negative, positive, just a wish thing you want to see happen. You could literally say you want the Boston Red Sox to go 0-162.
Oh, I got you now.
I mean, let's have a reason though.
I want to see. My wish list is to see some more surprising teams this year. So, like last year, we saw the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me at the beginning of last year that the Tigers and the Royals would be in the playoffs, and that one of those
year before the two teams that made the World Series, Diamondbacks and Rangers,
and that one of those teams would actually advance to the next round, I'm pretty sure. I would have thought you were crazy. I want to see some more surprising teams in the playoffs. Let me see a good Sacramento Athletics team. Let me see a good Cincinnati Reds team. Let me see a Chicago White Sox actually turn it around somehow.
All right, let's be realistic here.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, let's see some more. Let's see some more like teams that aren't expected to make playoffs actually make it to the divisional round or something.
Okay, so that goes into mine. I want to see and Arizona Diamondbacks NL West championship. I want to see some chaos. Okay, like you said, I want to see some random teams win divisions this year. I want to see the Reds or the Pirates win the Central. I want to see the Diamondbacks win the West. I want to see like the Nationals or the Marlins win the NL East. I want to see something crazy because we're due for that year. Because last year we had the perfect ratings series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. And unfortunately, your Yankees were kids sent to do a man's job. Man is in Diamondbacks because we're their kryptonite. Anyway, the Mets sucked in the playoffs. So did the Braves. Yeah, I hate big market teams. I always will. I mean, I have respect for the Yankees because I have a lot of friends who are Yankees fans. I root for them because I loved A-Rod. I loved Bernie Williams, Alfonso Soriano, when they had Randy Johnson, CC. Anyway, I want to see chaos. I truly do. Like, give me a ball. Give me like I would love to see like Yankees versus like Orioles for the last playoff, like NL East down to the like last game. I don't care about the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and the Rays. Let them go burn. But like, I want to see fun this year. Like, I love the Guardians because they're just not a big team, but they keep making the playoffs. The Twins with Carlos Correa hitting 85 damn nukes a week. It's fun to me. So I want chaos this year. There needs to be at least one big market team. Let's be honest. Even if the Dodgers, for some horrifying, hilariously reason, do not win the division, they will make the playoffs. They have too loaded of a lineup. They'll somehow find like 96 wins will make a wild card team. But like that's fun. But like, give me like the Seattle Mariners to win the NL West. AL West, I mean. Like, let's have some fun here. Let's have some or the A's is a wild card team. Like, they're trying. We talked to Nate about this.
Yeah.
They're really aiming for it. Like they brought back Rooker, they kept Mason Miller, they went out and got Severino. Like they're trying to make a run at something. So
I think they were even reported there was other big name free agents they were actually in on. They didn't get them, but they
tried
were
to go after Corbin Burns too, which was
Yeah.
hilarious. I'm like, if we lost, I mean, I wouldn't even been mad. I would like, I didn't even know we were in on Corbin Burns, and then I just saw Diamondback sign Burns. I'm like, what?
I thought it was gonna be the Giants.
Well, yeah, I know Kelsey's. I think is still not healed from that one. But then again, I love how the Giants have become like a meme in the NL West now. Like it's like the big three used to be the California teams: Padres, Giants, Dodgers. Now the Giants and the Diamondbacks have flipped, and now it's the three southern teams are duking it out for the NL West every year. But yeah, I just did my second one, right? Or was that yours? Okay, so your third
one. My third and final wish list for the MLB season. I would like for the Hall of Fame writers to have to display their ballots publicly so everybody can see who they voted for, because it is absolute BS that Ichiro Suzuki was not a unanimous Hall of Famer. It is absolute BS that Ken Griffey Jr. was not a unanimous Hall of Famer. It is absolutely BS that Derek Jeter and David Ortiz were not unanimous.
Mariano not unanimous either?
No, he was the only one. The only one.
But Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez. I'm like
Babe Ruth, the entire Yankees murderers row with like DiMaggio and Gehrig and Ruth and Mantle and everybody. It's just, I mean, that's just to name obviously guys from my teams and that stuff. But like,
I just want to fire all the old baseball writers. Just fire them. They all suck.
Ted Williams, Cy Young. Anyways, I want them to have to pretty much display like, all right, this is who I am. This is who I voted for. This is who I said yes or no. Yeah, they should. It should have to be public, because that's BS that's happening. And the fact that you mean to tell me that Billy Wagner is a Hall of Famer over like Joe Mauer and Gary Sheffield and Andrew Jones and
Alex freaking Rodriguez?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I mean all the steroid guys. I mean that revived baseball.
Dude, it kept baseball alive. Baseball is now behind the NHL. If it wasn't,
no matter what anybody wants to say, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez deserve to be in the Hall.
Even Ryan Boy Palmeiro, Rafi Palmeiro, 3,000 hits, 500 dingers. That's something.
Yeah, maybe not you, Jose Canseco, but
you go into the Rough and Rowdy Hall of Fame though.
Yeah, you're gonna go to the I Hate A-Rod Hall of Fame.
All right. My last one is that some team is worse than the White Sox were this year. That's some team I want to be the Miami Marlins. The fact that they didn't spend a damn dollar this offseason, horrifying. I hate this for Florida baseball fans. Yeah. And I get it. Florida's got a lot of fans from all over the country because it's a kind of a melting pot. Same thing with Arizona. But at least Arizona puts up a fight. They're a mid-market team. They're like, I think usually they used to be like 10th, 20th, 28th in payroll. They're 10th or 11th now because Ken Kendrick realized, hey, we're actually kind of a marketable team. It's a fun ballpark to visit. It's a cool, decently cool uniforms, and they kind of have a good shtick with that stadium. Why not run it? They almost won a World Series with it. The Marlins could be such a marketable team. They have 2 titles in the last 30 years. Why not? Go back to the old Florida black and teal uniforms. Start making your team aggressive and fun again. And let's do this. I don't understand it. It's like this. It's what the Pirates were before they got Paul Skeens. I don't get it. So yeah, I want them to hurt. I want the MLB to go after them. Rob Manfred has not made it a secret. He wants teams to actually give a crap. Like the A's got the memo. The White Sox, I think, got the memo. They should be better than last year. Hell, the Pirates have a shot at winning the division this year. They were awful 3 years ago. Why not, right? Yeah. That's what makes baseball great. Because a team could literally be like the Astros and be booty cheeks for 4 straight seasons, rack up top picks, and then run through everyone in 2017. And then I think in 2021 they won again, or 22. Still, and they're a constant playoff threat. I want teams to give a crap. I hate that teams tank. Like the Rockies went out and got Chris Bryant. They didn't do anything else, but they tried.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know it. You know the team's not good when you can pay $160-something and sit right behind the home plate dugout.
Want to go to a Marlins game?
I looked up. I mean, so currently it's like $400 to sit behind a home plate. I just looked. But my buddy, who's a big Mets fan, who travels for some baseball games, he's going to a Miami game end of the season where obviously they're 50 and 110. And it's like under $100 to sit behind a home plate.
Wild. I plan on going to Arizona in the fall, probably around like end of September, early October, to go see maybe the last or the second last home series. I want to go see maybe the Friday and the Saturday night game. I'll fly back Sunday, but I'm looking forward to that because I'll be able to buy like tickets. Like I'm going to try to do a weird thing. I'm going to try to buy one ticket down by like the Diamondbacks dugout, and then I'm going to try to buy the second one like up in the bleachers by the pool.
Yeah.
Because like I want to see the game from a bunch of different views. I want to be up on the catwalk. I want to see I want to experience the game. So
my last, I'm going to just say one honorable mention. It is long overdue. It is stupid that this ban lasted this long. Now that he's even dead, it should have been lifted once the gambling was considered legal.
Say your piece.
Pete Rose is a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Rose, he's not in the Hall of Fame, correct? Like he's not.
No, he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's still banned from baseball.
Yeah. Pete Rose is gone. Betting is legal. Pete Rose is a Hall of Famer. Put the man in the Hall of Fame. He should have been in the Hall of Fame as a living legend human being. But now that he is unfortunately deceased, it is time to put him in the Hall of Fame and have his family represent him in Cooperstown.
Yeah, I look at it from this. Here's my sense, right? If baseball wants to take that next step and permanently stiff arm itself past the NBA, it's got to allow the steroid era to be given life and celebrated. Put an asterisk on it for all we care, but celebrate it. Allow these guys who helped build the game, give them their dues. Pete Rose, yeah, he did some crap, but like he just keep him out as a manager. He was one of the best plate contact hitters of all time.
Open up a separate wing in Cooperstown. Call it the freaking steroid ring. Yeah. It's the steroid era wing of Cooperstown or whatever you want to call it. And just have a one-time thing where you have this big event and you've got, A-Rod, Bonds, Sosa, and McGuire that are all giving their speech.
Let them in. Have them all
Lemons.
come. We owe them
Lemons,
all.
the whole nine.
And have like a whole thing. Like, listen, you guys did so much for the game of baseball. What you did wasn't great, but we still appreciate the fact you guys are legends of the game.
Yeah.
Because A-Rod and Bonds are both Hall of Famers with or without roids.
Yeah.
Sorry to burst your bubble. Same thing with Roger Clemens. Same thing with probably Rafi Palmeiro.
Yeah.
Mark McGuire, probably borderline. Same thing with Sammy Sosa. Gary Sheffield, he used it for a year. Who cares? This whole thing is so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, baseball was revived in the 90s off of that, but also like it was such a significant time in history in baseball for that the Sosa McGuire home run battle for that year. It's just, listen, man, the sport is thriving because of this.
Yeah, the sport is now like given new life. Rob Manfred, I don't know if you're waiting for Bud Selig to croak or whatever, but dude, like you gotta take a swing. Dude, put your mark on the sport. Rob Manfred has somewhat helped revive this like sport that was honestly when we were in high school, this baseball was kind of dead. After the 2009 World Series, baseball really wasn't coming back until 2017?
Yeah. I think once Manfred implemented the pitch clock, I think that's probably the greatest rule that he has ever probably came up with for the sport.
And like give a reward for teams that actually run the bases and like play small ball.
And now I love
analytics.
I love seeing the looks on people's faces that say baseball is boring. And I'm like, baseball now is a 20 plus minute faster game than like an NFL game. Like, what? I was like, yeah, NFL goes from 1 to 4. Baseball can be done in 2 hours and 20 minutes now.
Yeah, here's the thing. I went to Diamondbacks Red Sox, right? The game started at 1:30. I was literally on the tee heading back, and we took a 25-minute detour by 4:15.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. And then that came out, it was an 8-3 game. It had a lot of offense.
Yeah. You nowadays with how baseball is with the pitch clock, you can get up to go to the bathroom and then get a beer. By the time you come back, you might have missed 2 innings.
So I was watching. So I got MLB extra innings. By the way, shout out to MLB for now sending out reminder emails about automatic subscriptions. So save me about $150. I'll sign up when they do their Mother's Day sale. They always cut it in half. I always buy it.
My Yes subscription is going to be coming up in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. But so this is my point. I was watching, I think, with Diamondbacks, Rockies, or maybe it was the Giants or something. And I was watching the game, just chilling, relaxing, trying to just wind down. And I think Corbin Carroll was up. I went to go use the bathroom, came back, hit a triple, cleared the bases. I could tell Marte scored and like everything else. And I'm like, we tied the game. I'm like, what? I missed it. Are you kidding me? I'm supposed to go get a beer. So I love that that's the thing now. It's like with the NFL, I don't leave my couch until commercial breaks. The MLB, it's like I only leave my couch to do things now. Like I love about the MLB is I can still kind of put it on my side screen, I can play Xbox and watch the Diamondbacks at the same time. It's kind of the coolest part about it. NBA, you really can't do that. NFL, you can't do that unless I'm watching like Red Zone. So I love it though.
I love. There's nothing more relaxing than on a nice spring day, maybe even a nice cool summer day, just being outside and just maybe like either having something on the grill or just sitting outside smoking a cigar, having something to drink, and just listening to the game on the radio.
Yeah,
baseball is such an amazing game to listen to.
Maybe this is the most redneck thing I've ever done. I was leaving the gym at like maybe 2:00 on a Sunday. Diamondbacks are on. Windows open, driving nice and slow through the back roads in my truck, listening to Diamondbacks play. It was great. I was like, and it was nice and warm out. I'm like, this is great, man. I'm loving this. It's like, I love the NFL, but the NFL stresses me the hell out. Like, I have never felt more relieved than I have the last 2 weeks with my team winning the Super Bowl, making it back from the parade. And now I don't have to think about free agency or the draft until March 10th. So at this point, besides doing draft scouting, which I got to start doing like tonight, I can relax. With baseball, I relax literally until the playoff push. So August is when I start twitching about baseball. But April through, I'd say, end of July, it's just gravy to me. Like, I'm sitting back watching the game, smoking cigars, drinking beers. Like, I think one time, then I text you, I was outside of my back porch watching Diamondbacks Giants on a Friday night with a 4-pack of IPAs, a cigar. I had music going on in the background. I was just hanging out. And my buddy texted me, goes, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Watching baseball, smoking a stogie." He goes, "Do you want to go to the bar?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, I'm loving life right now.
No. Sometimes it's, I mean, I love watching the game, but I mean, baseball is such an enjoyable game to listen to as well.
Exactly.
I mean, I put it on the radio on my headphones. I'm at the gym.
I can't wait to do our baseball preview this year because we're actually going to bring in some new guests.
Nice.
One guest, we've had him before. He's from a different country. We love him to death. I'm going to talk to him about getting him on. Another guy's a MLB writer for baseball for Belly Up. We haven't really talked to a lot. He's a fellow management member of mine. I'm going to try to see if I can negotiate getting him on. We'll do the baseball preview. It's in about 3 weeks. We'll probably do as an intermission thing between NFL and everything else. But that is awesome. So we're going to switch to NFL now. Switch gears. That was a great baseball talk. Why do I always feel great talking baseball? Like, it's relaxing to me.
It feels like I just went to therapy and I just worked on myself.
Like, everyone knows I love to game. I'm a gamer. I play a lot of video games just because it's a relaxing thing for me. It's a nice pastime. I've been loving playing NCAA 25, but the second I saw MLB The Show 25 was only a month away, I'm in my truck just fist pumping. Like, I'm like, we're a month away. Let's go. I'm like, I cannot wait to do Road to Show. And apparently they added so much cool stuff. I can't wait to do online play, franchise. Like, I used to spend like a Sunday, I'd walk on my treadmill in my room for 2 hours. I'd bang out 3 9-inning games in franchise. And I'd probably throw a no-hitter because when I'm walking on that treadmill, I get so locked in with whatever I'm watching. It's great. Anyway, NFL time. So this is interesting. According to sources and Jonathan Martin himself, the Richie Incognito incident with Jonathan Martin when there was bullying I think it was about 12 years ago. It was
2013
season. Apparently it was all made up, allegedly. Apparently Jonathan Martin just wanted to get out of the league. He was done with football. He needed a way out, and this was his way out. What? This headline made me scratch my head this morning. I was like, what? I know we're going to talk about this. I didn't read much further than this because I'm like, I know who Richie Incognito is. He's a bully, but he's also a great blocking guard. Jonathan Martin was terrible. They were going to cut him, and I don't understand. This is like a ridiculous headline to me. Even more ridiculous, this one isn't in our headlines because I don't think Nate saw this yet. T. Higgins is allegedly, I heard this from Tyler Coe and Tico on, I have to verify the source, but allegedly, according to sources, the Bengals are going to attempt to tag T. Higgins for the second straight season. I hate the Bengals now. I love Mike Burlon. He's our boy. He's a diehard Bengals fan. I love Joey B. I love Jamar Chase. I hate the Bengals now. Why are you going to do this man dirty? Either pay him or let him walk. You had all that time to trade him. You screwed up. You're done. This is why teams stay at the bottom. You want to know why Philadelphia is going to keep winning titles? You want to know why Kansas City is going to keep winning titles? Matthew, it's a very simple answer. It's because you pay the guys before you got to pay them. Why Dallas is going to be a bottom feeder franchise till my kids are in college? They don't pay guys on time. It's not a hard thing to figure out. The fact that me, a college graduate who barely passed journalism school, but has a weird obsession with football, could figure that out 10 years ago when we could not pay off our guys because we paid them at wrong times. Howie Roseman and Brett Veach have figured out that if you pay the guys early enough, you don't have to pay them too much. You know how much Jalen Hurts' cap hit is on the Eagles this year? It's $21 million. That's the biggest cap hit on the roster. And all the free agents, you know the most expensive one they're going to have? It's probably Milton Williams. He might walk as Clutch Sports is going to get their grubby little hands on him. And unfortunately, I think he's worth more than $19 million. Unfortunately, as a backup D tackle, that's not going to fly. So we might lose Milton Williams. But Zach Bond's going to get paid $10, $15 million a year. He's earned it. We're probably going to pay Isaiah Rodgers again. We'll probably pay Blankenship again. Exciting Whites, Why don't they get it? You pay the receivers 2 or 3 a year too early. If they don't take it, say fine, walk. But you offer to pay them. Now T. Higgins is going to get stuck there. I hope he holds out for his sake. I want him to go to New England. I want him to go to Vegas. I want him to go to a team who actually wants him. And it sucks for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, but I'm being straight up. They were a much better team when he was in the lineup, but they're going to screw this up again.
Even the Buccaneers are, I think they've already come out and said they're not going to tag. They're not. They're going to attempt to. I thought they weren't going to, but they were going to attempt to sign him.
Horrifying injury. I believe this one is going to be tagging with attempt to sign, like you said.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel bad for Chris Godwin. That was awful. But the T. Higgins.
Yeah, I mean, listen, whatever keeps T. Higgins away from New England is fine with me. But let the man test the market. I mean, come on. He's gonna, by the time he hits it, he's gonna be 30. You're gonna tag him 3 years in a row. And yeah, to your point, Darren Muji, take notes because Garrett Wilson's gonna be due soon. Sauce is due soon. Jermaine Johnson, Elijah Vera Tucker, Breece Hall. Start signing some guys soon. For the love of everything, just lock up whoever you can. Start cheap, then go high. Whatever you got to do, but. I'm not looking forward to that when all that happens. Take notes.
Listen, free agency is going to be weird. I really hope you guys don't trade Garrett Wilson because I think, honestly, if you guys can get the right quarterback, there's 2 teams I want to trade up and go get quarterbacks. Try to see if they can kind of screw the Giants over. It's the Jets and the Raiders. I think both of them have enough cap and room. They can move up and go get somebody. And I think it seemed like the Browns, we don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I think free agency is going to tell us a lot. I think
the Jets have an interesting situation because they're letting Aaron Rodgers walk, which I'm 50-50 on. I'm all for bringing him back. I think that's the best option at quarterback right now compared to the free agents available and where your placement is in the draft. I think he's the best option available at that position, but I'm also not upset with letting a 41-year-old quarterback coming off a 5-win season walk after an Achilles injury, especially when you look at if you were to cut Rodgers and Lazard and Adams, all three of his buddies, you cut all three of them, you free up almost $60 million in cap space. So
what's the cap hit if you cut Adams though? Or is his guaranteed money gone?
I think it must be gone because if they cut him, Lazard, and Rodgers, they're freeing up $55+ million in cap.
Well, because I know Rodgers is going to be some cap hit.
Yeah, you could do a whole post-June 1st cut to lessen it, but then it would be another hit the following year. It's a weird situation.
The Packers screwed whoever took his contract over. I think the Packers sneakily thought that whoever's going to take him afterward is going to be the one who's going to get hit by this. They knew they were only going to get Rodgers for another year or two. They said, screw it, whatever. Let's send him away. Because that money's got to get paid eventually.
Yeah. I mean, they get rid of those three. You take a team that's bottom 5 in cap and you take them and you make them top 10 in cap if you cut those three.
Yeah. It's just, like I said, March 10th is going to be a weird day, man.
Yeah. Now they're saying Garrett Wilson's likely to stay with Rodgers.
I want.
Listen, there's a couple things you could do. I've got some ideas. I mean, like you said,
let's homework. Let's start rebuild. One thing we'll also do besides we'll do our drafts thing is 3 teams every week. We'll do a wish list on how to rebuild them. I think it's something we could do. Yeah, the Jets should be our first one. We'll do we'll skip teams like the Browns because basically until Jimmy Haslam sells them, they're screwed.
Yeah,
he's dealing with the Cowboys. Teams that we want to see rebuilt. But we're here. We got to talk about it. It is time for the return of the Korner Booth Draft, presented by our friends at Righteous Felon. Promo code BELLYUP for 15% off at checkout. I just went and picked up a nice bag of the Maryland crab flavor. It is my favorite. I will eat it like crack. It is that good. Not crack. Sorry. They cut that one out. But I will go through a bag in 5 minutes. It is one of those things. So Righteous Felon promo code BELLYUP for 15% off your purchase at checkout. Matt is a fan of it, and so is mine, and so am I. So we're doing Korner Booth Draft. The rules are simple. You get 5 picks back and forth. Maddie, since you are the defending champ, you get to go second. So I will go first pick. I'm gonna go Nick Foles.
That was my
52. Listen, you cannot ignore the stats. 3 touchdowns passing, 1 receiving, 28 of 43, 373 through the air. All right, your second pick, my friend.
Man, that was my good job making me go second because that was my 1. That's just a great story. That was my 1. I'm gonna go a little bit back in time to I believe it was Super Bowl 24. I'm gonna take Joe Montana. Super Bowl MVP, 22 of 29, 297 yards, and a whopping 5 touchdowns.
That was my number 2.
And several of his 5 Super Bowl titles.
All right. So I may have you one up, though. My second pick, I'm going to do Steve Young, Super Bowl 29. I just saw it. Yeah, 325 through the air, 6 passing TDs.
Okay. All right. My number 2. This could be controversial because, I mean, it's not eye-opening stats, but it's just the significance of this. All right, I'm going to stick with it. So Super Bowl 42, Eli Manning.
Ooh.
Super Bowl MVP, 19 of 34, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not the greatest stats of a Super Bowl MVP, but it's the significance of you got the David Tyree catch, and you also got the fact that it was his first Super Bowl title win over Tom Brady, but this one ended the perfect season. That's the significance of that one.
Yep. All right. I'm going with the significance play as well. I'm going to kick my phone, which has all my stats on it. I'm going to go with the most recent Super Bowl that earned this shirt and got me to Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts in Super Bowl 59. Everyone wants to talk about the defense, how great they played, but here's the issue. If the Eagles, who didn't have a use of Saquon basically for most of the game, don't score, the Chiefs are still in it. The Eagles defense only scored 7 points. Cooper Jean. So credit's got to be due. And it's the significance. Hurts stopped the three-peat. He played lights out. 17 to 20, 22 to 17, 17 to 22, 293 on total yards and 3 total touchdowns. Outplayed the greatest quarterback of our generation. Wink, wink. So that is why he's my third.
All right. My number 3, I'm going back in time on this one. I'm going to Super Bowl 13. Give me Terry Bradshaw, 17 of 30, 318 yards, and 4 touchdowns in his one of many Super Bowl victories in his career. So give me my third. Give me Terry Bradshaw, Super Bowl 13 MVP.
All right. I'm going to go to Super Bowl 50. Von Miller. 6 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 1 pass deflected. And not to mention, I believe one of those sacks was I think he also knocked the ball or kicked the ball around, kept it in his hands. He was a menace during that game. It was an ugly, disgusting, sloppy game, and Von Miller was unblockable. And that Denver defense shut down one of the greatest offenses I'd ever seen to that point in that 2015 Panthers run through.
Oh man! All right. You know, I'm gonna sway away from the quarterback position because you got to show some other positions some love.
Yep.
I'm gonna follow suit with what you were just doing with a defensive player. I'm gonna go back to Super Bowl. I believe it was Super Bowl 48. I'm gonna take Malcolm Smith.
Ooh.
That was a great game. That was a dominant game on the Legion of Boom's side. But Malcolm Smith wasn't exactly a household name that everybody really knew about, or wasn't exactly the top player at his position at that time. But he goes off and has one of the greatest games of his career, having 6 tackles, 4 assist tackles. He had an interception return for a touchdown, 69-yard interception return for a touchdown, and he also had a fumble recovery. It's just watching that game, the impact that he had seemed to be more than what I just laid out to you, but it was just a eye-opening performance on his end for that game.
You know what the worst part is? I think this was against my Eagles too, but I got to give it to Marcus Allen. Is my last pick for Super Bowl 18. Dude, 191, 2 touchdowns, only 20 carries. That's insane. That's over 8 yards a carry. That's crazy. So, yeah, Marcus Allen, probably the greatest running back performance in the Super Bowl ever. So, yeah. And we also get an honorable mention, by the way, because I got one for honorable mention as well. But if you got – I'll let you double up here. So, if you want to go with your last one, you get honorable mention first tips.
All right, no worries. All right, my last one, we're going to go back to Super Bowl – I don't know if it was 55 or what it was the 28-3 Super Bowl with the Patriots and the Falcons.
Mr. Edelman.
Falcons. This one was Tom Brady was the MVP on that one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was Edelman must have been the one against the
43 for 62, 466, 2 tutties.
Yeah, see, that's the thing that got me was that he threw 62 passes. Now, this game did go to overtime, but I don't remember the last time I've seen a quarterback throw 62 passing attempts. He even completed 43 of the 62. 466 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, just that legendary just comeback by them from down from 25 to winning in overtime. So my 5th and final pick is Tom Brady's MVP over the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl, Matt Ryan MVP and everything. And going back in time, I would say my honorable mention will be Super Bowl 16, John Riggins. With the Washington at the time, I don't know if I guess Washington Redskins.
Just say the Washington football team.
Yeah, the Washington football team of the time, different name and everything like that. But 166 rushing yards on 38 attempts with a touchdown and 15 receiving yards for a touchdown.
There you go. All right, my honorable mention is also Tommy. Super Bowl 49 against the Legion of Boom. Just absolute clinic. 37 of 50, 328, 4 tutties against arguably one of the greatest secondaries ever. Sherman, Browner, Maxwell, Earl Thomas, Ken
Chancellor.
That was the same defense that basically took Peyton Manning to the woodshed the year before.
Yeah.
So the fact Tommy shredded him, there's no doubt in my mind Tom is a better quarterback than Peyton. Also, poor Peyton had a wet noodle at that point. But yeah, crazy. That was my honorable mention. So yeah, there we go. I had 4 quarterbacks: Hurts, Young, Foles, and Brady, and then I had an edge rusher and a running back.
Yeah, I pretty much had the same with you. I had Brady, Manning, Montana, Bradshaw, and then I went Malcolm Smith.
You know, I noticed there's no wide receivers that put up like ridiculous. Like my other honorable mention would have been Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, I was looking at that one. Lynn Swan too back in the day, but
Hines Ward is another one too. But,
it's tough too. It's tough when you've got guys throwing for over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns to overlook that.
Like, I'm like trying to read like the Dolphins 2 interceptions by Jake Scott in Super Bowl 7.
Yeah. Franco Harris,
Roger Staubach in Super Bowl 6. Yeah, but like they're not like the farthest one. I think we went back, like maybe Fred Biletnikoff. Whoa, 4 catches, 79 yards. That got him the win. That's insane.
Yeah. Go back to Super Bowl 3. Joe Namath got Super Bowl MVP for throwing 206 yards on 28 attempts. No touchdowns, no interceptions. It was just a running game.
I know. It's crazy to me. My favorite, I think, still might be actually, I don't know. I think Jim Plunkett was the MVP against Philadelphia.
I think he was.
Yeah, it was Jim Plunkett because I think Marcus Allen was against I can't remember. But like Lynn Swan, it's just weird. I mean, even Jerry Rice 11-2-15. Yeah, that's the winner right there. I skimmed over that one. This is the problem. We did our top 10s. I scrapped it because I was like, that's going to take too long. We're going to go over 100 hour on this one. And then I completely forgot about Jerry Rice. I think it was my number 8 on my top 10. So, but yep, Korner Booth draft, Korner Booth top 10s. They are back along with a few others. We're going to start bringing back the Sunday conversations. Hopefully we get some new guests in here. Season 13 is going to be fun. Season 13 kickoff party is, of course, Thursday. We'll have, obviously, draft breakdowns, MLB preview. We're going to get our boy Subi back into some March Madness talk. As of, I believe we're going to do conference tourneys with him. I think that's where we're going to get him on first. But I got to negotiate a kid. Got us a new kid. Congrats to Little Subs and the family Sub. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this show has been brought to you by the amazing people at Belly Up Sports and Belly Up Media. Follow them at Belly Up Sports on all social media accounts. We are the Korner Booth. You can follow myself at Belly Up Jared because Elon won't let me change my name. And, of course, you can find me at Big Wisp 8 on Twitter. Everything else, we are Korner Booth Matt and Korner Booth Jared. Follow us at Korner Booth Pod on all social medias. And, of course, this show is brought to you by Righteous Felon Beef Jerky. Promo code BellyUp20 for 20%. Oh, sorry, 15% off. Belly Up is 50% off. Then BellyUp20 is the promo code for candidates, which is BellyUp20 for 20% off your purchase at checkout. And, of course, SeatGeek, the best ticket purchasing app. Pat McAfee says it's on the moon. I don't know. I feel like some other one. No, I'm just kidding. Promo code BellyUp Sports, $20 off your purchase at checkout. First purchase only, but we will see you guys on Thursday. Nate will be back Thursday as well. Christy wanted to give you all the folks at home a shout out. Got to hang with him this week. Got a shout out for giving me a nice Philly experience down there. Guys really experienced the parade. It's very cool. For the numbskull who threw a beer at Howie Roseman, you're a dummy. But hey, at least it's still better than a guy eating horse poop at a parade. So, Birds are still the champs, baby. I'm going to be enjoying this until about, I don't know, whenever North Carolina disappoints me in March. All right, I'm Jared. That's Matt. We'll see you guys Thursday. Deuce! NBA, you suck.